And welcome back, everyone, to What If Deku was a Force user, was Force sensitive? This comes to us from Joshua Merriweather and Handy Chiza. Now, real quick, this comes up apparently once in a while when I do the My Hero What Ifs. Guys, I have the backbone, two series backbones of this channel when it comes to What Ifs were the Dragon Ball What Ifs and the Naruto What Ifs. The Dragon Ball What Ifs are coming. They're now just interspliced with the My Hero What Ifs. So I got this and the present My Quirk of his series after this. And then there are 3 Dragon Ball What Ifs coming. Then we'll do 3 My Hero. Then we'll do 3 Dragon Ball. Then 3 My Hero. That's the way this works now. I don't know I don't know what people are really expecting. Like I feel like it comes off like I did so many Dragon Ball What Ifs for so long that the minute I don't do them as often now, people are wondering if they're gone forever. And like, guys, come on, you guys, the most of you who've been watching me for a while, I'm not trying to be mean, but you should know better. Come on, you'll know they're coming. Don't worry. But yeah, I spent forever doing Dragon Ball, barely did any of My Hero, and now that I'm doing My Hero, people are like, where's Dragon Ball? Like, guys, come on. Not that I feel like I'm getting pressured or bullied or anything like that. I'm just saying. So with that being said, let's get into this. Now, 2 things we need to establish right now. This is not an actual Star Wars My Hero crossover. In essence, you're not going to see... There's going to be maybe one character who is an essence of Star Wars character in this that will show up in this part 1. But there are... Like, you're not going to see Darth Maul or the Empire. First off, it's a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. I.e., it's technically in the past in distant galaxies far, far away. It doesn't work that way. But beyond that, that's not what this What If is. This is just what if Midori is a Force user. Which now begs the second question. Is the Force a quirk in this world? And the immediate answer to that is no. While it's not a Star Wars crossover, that one essence of the Force has to, I think, remain the same. That it's not a quirk. It's an energy field that binds all living things. That's generated by all living things. It surrounds us. It binds us. It holds the universe together. It is still the Force. Deku is just somehow able to be Force sensitive and tap into it. Maybe that's his quirk is to tap in and be Force sensitive. Maybe that's the argument you can make. But we start this What If right after Deku's diagnosis that he's quirkless. Even if you want to say that his quirk is that he's Force sensitive, I would argue that it's so subtle of a type of quirk that it almost, if not, registers as he doesn't have a quirk. At least to the doctors, like, yeah, sorry, the kid doesn't have a quirk. So yeah, I feel like I think that's the best way to go about that. And so Deku is still just like, can I be a hero ball, please? It's like, oh, we're pressing Midoriya. And so Deku kind of goes about his early life, not thinking anything of it, but always feeling off. Always feeling like he's sensing something out there, something greater for him. And so after a while, once he gets around his mid-single digits, like 6 to 7, and Bakugo's already treating him like trash, he starts to kind of just sit in his yard or sit in the park and just kind of sit and be like, take a breath, just not quite meditate because he hasn't learned to meditate yet, but just like, just kind of like take in everything. And his senses do start to open. Hair in my mouth. There we go. His senses do start to open up a little bit. He's starting to kind of feel nature as like an energy, if you will, a force. And so, when he's back at home later on, because I believe they had like a small yard. We don't really see Deku's home that often, nor the entirety of the property. I assume he has a small yard. Or something. Or he's somewhere where people can't notice him. So he just can feel something different. So he sees a fruit, it's like, I want to get it. It's like, I want to get it. I want that apple. And he reaches that, and eventually the apple starts to move. He's like, and it shakes, stops. Puts his hand up again, just takes a breath, just starts to get really riled up, but he just starts to... God's like, no, this isn't gonna work. It's not gonna work if I get too riled up. Just calm. And then Apple's, what? But I don't have a quirk. What? And mom. It's like, what is it, Deku? You gotta see what I can do. It's like, he's just trying to say, oh, honey, it's. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sure it works. It does work. Believe me, it works. Please Like, no, no. It just, and he just kind of like calms himself down. No, no. And he starts to move, and again, once again, it starts to move on its own. And his mother is like shouting, "My baby has a quirk! Oh, my baby has a quirk!" But I thought the doctor said he didn't have a quirk. I don't know. By the way, side note, real quick, trying to create a Deku has the Force thumbnail wasn't that easy. So yeah, this is the best I could do. Be kind, be gentle. Actually, you can be as cruel as you want. I know it doesn't look that. I mean, it's as good as I can make it, but still. Granted, I should have made the hands the same color as his face. I made the neck as best I could, but still. Anyway. So, the Deku, over the course of the years leading into the actual beginning of the series where he's at school, it starts to like kind of practice. Like he starts to learn how to meditate. Take breaths, calm his more nervous, anxious nature. And he starts to learn more about it. And he starts to use the telekinesis a bit more. He starts to seltzer, so a lot of carbonation. He starts to big words. He starts to commune with animals a little bit. Because that is one of the abilities of at least the light side users at the moment, where he is, where they can communicate and control animals. What else did I write here right now? One of the other things he's kind of realizes that he can kind of augment himself with the Force to a certain degree. Like he can jump higher, he can move faster, he can hit a little harder. He also kind of starts to learn the Force push just a little bit. But it's all minor, nothing major. And the beauty of doing this type of what if is Deku isn't guaranteed to become broken, because everyone is different with their ability to tap into the Force. Like Sidious or Yoda are god tier level powerful, but someone like Obi-Wan is a powerful Jedi, but his use of the Force isn't actually as powerful as some other Jedis. It's more his nuance with the Force that's actually impressive. And so Deku is busy training, practicing. Meanwhile, someone has actually kind of picked up on this. It's like, it can't be. No, it couldn't. Could it? And so, with Deku is playing with his friends because left behind. He's about to get hit by a car or falls in, and the kids behind him don't even notice. But does it wait for me, and he's able to kind of get out of the way, just Force push himself out of the way. Watch where you're going, kid. Oh man, my word, that was quite impressive. And there he sees this old man in not Jedi robes. That's not the right way to put it. But in, I guess whatever Obi-Wan civilian gear would look like. Something like that. Well, it sees this older gentleman. Well, hello there. Now, this is not actually Obi-Wan Kenobi. I need to make that very clear right now. But this is whatever the equivalent in My Hero for Obi-Wan would be. This is the one other Force-sensitive individual we have in this series. Because I think it is important that Deku have some sort of mentor for the Force. And not just figure it out. Because if he's just going with the flow with it, there's no way he could learn more nuanced abilities. There's just no way he could do that. Nor understanding the light or the dark. So it's the one little crossover thing I am allowing for this what if. You want to scold me for it? It's like, that's not what the what if is. Well, bite me. It's my what if. I'll do what I want. So Deku obviously is like, oh, sorry. I say, no, not at all. You're okay, young man. Yeah, I'm okay. It's like, well, I must. I gotta get back to my friends. If I must say that little ability of yours is quite impressive. How long have you been able to do that? I said, about a year or two now. It's like, he just thinks to himself, a year now. He's been on his own this whole time. And he's grown that powerful. Interesting indeed. Well, I wouldn't want to keep you from your friends, but if I must say, if I must be honest, I don't know really how much you can call them your friends. Like I said, just not my business. But you nearly were hit by a car, young man, and they just don't even seem to know you're gone. As I said, I would just think people who are truly your friends would appreciate you don't get hurt, and value your safety a bit more. But That is only my opinion. Still, I must, like I said, that was quite impressive what you did. I haven't seen something like that in a long time. A long time. It's like, wait, you've seen? What do you mean, see that? Oh, you haven't realized yet, have you, young man? You don't have this. You don't have a quirk. What? And Obi-Wan kind of, we'll call him Obi-Wan for the sake of this what if. Obi-Wan just kind of lifts up, because he's got maybe groceries on, lifts up a fruit and just kind of moves it towards her. Wait, you too? Indeed. I was actually about to on my way home to make some lunch. Would you like to join me? I'm sure there's much we can discuss. And yeah, a young boy going home with an old man that he's only just met. Little sus, but we know it's on the the up and up. And so they're there, and I could take you to get a quick bite if you'd like. And he says, so it's been about a few years now, so you say. Yeah. I'm saying, So what exactly is it? Oh, you, my friend, have the ability to tap into the Force. The Force? Indeed. I must admit, it's been many age. I thought I was the last one, to be honest. But wait, what's the Force? The Force is an energy field that is created by all living things. It surrounds us. It binds us. I believe it's I know it has been so long since I've quoted that. It surrounds us. It flows through us. It binds it binds the universe together, and through the Force, and through those who are lucky enough to be able to manipulate the Force, they are gifted many abilities. And he just kind of thinks back. There was a long time ago when there were many more Force users, but unfortunately, for whatever reason, when quirks started to evolve, the ability to use the Force became more and more difficult. Now any of Force users are all but extinct, unfortunately. Wait, so you're the last? I couldn't guarantee it, but unfortunately, I have not met someone in many a decade who could also use the Force like myself. Until you, of course. So wait, what does it mean? Well, young Midoriya, you could, I'm here to offer you a little apprenticeship. My guess is you lack a quirk of your own. But with the Force there behind you, you could become quite an effective hero in your own right. Do good in the world, if that's what you so choose to do. I say, yeah, that's my dream. Yeah. I gathered as much. So then I should obviously meet with your mother first to confirm it with you. But if you're willing, I can teach you everything I know. And help you be as fine a hero as you truly desire to be. And Deku's just like, thank you. It's like, oh, easy now, no tears now. And so he meets as hello, Miss Midoriya. Midoriya, my name is Ben. You might as well go with Ben. Ben. And I'm a newly acquainted friend of your son. Seemed he almost had an accident today, but don't worry, he's fine. But there's something I wish to discuss with you. And so he explains. I'd like to take them under my wing. Your wing? Yes. You see, obviously they're the only ones who know it's the Force. See, your son's latent quirk happens to be very similar to a quirk of my own. And I'd like to be able to, and it's been very long since I met someone like that. I'd like to be able to pass on what I know to him, to help him be prepared for his studies, and to eventually go into UA. Yeah, if that, of course, is still your dream, Midoriya, like you said. Of course, yeah! It says, please, Mom, please. Well, you can promise me he'll be safe. I can promise I'll keep him as safe as possible. It's like, very well. It's like, yes, you can do it. Very well, then, Midoriya. We can start. There's no reason to rush. Let's see here. It's what, Friday? Why don't we start? It's like, so the beginning of the summer starts. Why don't I give you a few days to relax, and then we'll begin. And so the training of Midoriya under Obi-Wan begins. And so for the next few years, actually, during the summer and the off months, Midoriya continues, and when Midoriya has free time, he trains under his sensei, Obi-Wan. Now, Obi-Wan certainly helps him out with some base things. Focusing his Force abilities to be more powerful. For example, his Force push was pretty mild. Enough to push Midoriya off the ground, but he clearly needed both hands. He learns to do a pretty powerful telekinetic push. Not like enough that he could blow a hole in a building, unless he really wanted to use all his power, but enough that he could throw a person back quite a bit, or he could offset an attack, kind of like a mild shield. His telekinesis also grows more powerful. But the one thing that Ben notes about Midoriya is his empathy. Like, he's very empathetic and understanding. Unfortunately, at one point, he realizes Midoriya is just trying too hard, and he starts to feel Wellian. Like, there's no anger or darkness in Midoriya unless he allows it in. And when she stops, like, Midoriya, let's take a break. And now we've been training for a good while. You've made amazing progress, my boy. However, there's something you need to know about the Force. Something didn't think I'd have to discuss with you, but it's something you should know regardless for your own safety, as well as others. There are two sides to the Force. There's the light side, which fortunately you more than qualify for. And in essence, it is light. It is warmth. It is life itself in many ways. But there's the opposite side of the Force, Midoriya. There's the dark side of the Force. Dark side, it is fueled by the negative emotions: fear, anger, hate. These emotions can grant you great power through the Force, but at the cost of corruption, degradation, and complete and utter chaos in many ways. There are many the dark side of the Force. So wait, is one stronger than the other? Is the dark side stronger? No. Easier, perhaps, but not stronger. The dark side of the Force is a pathway to abilities many would deem unnatural, and abilities that truthfully are quite impressive indeed. But at a cost that may be too great for any one person to handle. And those who have used in all of the history of individuals I've known, no one has ever used the dark side and remained the good person they were before. Always just be aware of your feelings. They give you strength, but they can betray you, but they can also give you strength. And Midoriya just kind of like, right, no fear. And it's like, no fear, no hate, no anger. It's like, you'll do fine, my boy. Now, continue with your studies. Now, we'll talk about near the end of this one, because it's going to be a long part one. No, I'm actually not going to go all the way up to the the first training test they have in UA. I'm actually not going to go that far. But as Midoriya also, as he's training, does start to gain a bit of precog ability, as the Force can allow you, due to the fact that Obi-Wan does still have a little. It was probably a training thing back when he maybe used to be a hero. He's still got the little droid that fires out the little beams. Now, keep in mind, Deku does not have a lightsaber. But Ben probably hands him, a stick or whatever. Maybe it's like a special stick that kind of lights up a little bit. We're gonna talk about a lightsaber in a little bit, because we'll get near the end when we talk about it. So he's training in the precogs. At first, Midoriya's like, no, okay, that's good, Midoriya. Good, Midoriya, good. And so ultimately we keep training with Ben Kenobi. Now, Midoriya's not going to have a litany of Force abilities under his belt. That requires time and study. That's the thing about the Force, is that no matter how many years go by here, Midoriya may not gain extra abilities right away. He can improve what he already has, but that doesn't mean he automatically just gains abilities. And so when we get to the actual beginning of the series here, where we see that Sean's like, oh, you're all applying for UA, you want to be heroes, I want to be you, Midoriya, I heard you're applying for UA too. Now, Midoriya probably hasn't been going around saying he has a quirk. Yeah, probably hasn't been bragging about that. But at the same time, he's probably like, no, maybe at least when Baku's trying to convince him he has a quirk, but Bakugo doesn't believe it. And so Midoriya's also gained a fair bit of confidence. He's had someone bolster him. He's learned to block out fear and hatred. Definitely not, Deku has never had hatred in his heart ever, except for maybe One for All. Sorry, All for One. I always do that. Maybe for All for One. That might be the one person he's had legit hatred for. But otherwise, even then, that's debatable. But yeah, Deku definitely has no hatred in his heart. But we know Deku has had plenty of times. But Deku has learned to push fear out. He's done a lot of training with Ben, so he's a lot more mature. That's right. I'm hoping to become I'm hoping to have a great hero too. It's like, even without a quirk, I have a quirk. I do really. he kind of just gives up at this point. I was like, I could show you, don't bother. And so Midoriya is about to leave, and Bakugo, of course, he'll look, loser. You probably shouldn't be applying to UA. You're gonna make me look bad, okay? And Midoriya's like, look, Bakugo, how is me applying to? And Midoriya, who's now actually able to be level-headed, he's like, how is that gonna make you look bad? Yeah, we're from the same school, but it's like, whatever. You don't. So you look, it's pointless, okay? A quirkless loser like yourself is not going to be able to do anything. Never going to be a hero. So I don't know. Just saving the embarrassment. Take this, and it's like he throws out the window. By Midoriya's like, hey, what was that? I was like, you say something, dweeb, or loser, and Midoriya's just he's not scared of Bakugo at this point anymore. He's definitely he's still more concerned about Bakugo. Like, I was like, man, Bakugo is not healthy mentally. Like, this is not good for him. He's not in a good mental state. But at the same time, he's like, yeah, that's what I thought. And Bakugo and his gang walk up. Midoriya's just staring at him. Like, man, what happened to you? As his hand starts to, as the book flies out from over, or just not flies, but floats out from over the window. He caught it midair, like holding it there. Just, well, don't worry. They're not stuttering here. I'm gonna prove them wrong, no matter what. And he's just walking home, and he's like, no matter what, I'm gonna prove them all. When the eventual exam comes, I'm going to show them all that not only do I have a quirk, but I have every right to be here. And that's when the sludge monster villain attacks. But Midoriya's precognitive abilities, as he is able to kind of sense energy to some degree, sense not just the force, but the way the force moves through other beings. He's able to sense something dark, and he's like, good reflexes, kid. A sludge. What the heck is he? All right, kid. Well, sorry, kid, but I'm gonna need to borrow that body of yours. And he just tries to. Midoriya just holds him and is like, what the? A telekinesis quirk? A telekinetic quirk? What the? And Midoriya's holding him there. He's struggling, though, but he's able to hold him back. Just kind of blasts him back, kind of breaks him up. And Midoriya's like, this isn't good. I have to get out of here and get a hero right now. I don't have a... And he doesn't. He doesn't have an ability to straight beat this villain. The best he could hope for is to maybe kind of contain him, kind of like All Might does in the soda bottle. Just kind of put him in there, like contain him in a ball. It's like, not good, not good. It's like, crabs. You're not going anywhere, kid. Never fear, huh? For I am here, Detroit Smash! And Midoriya is like, hey, wake up. Oh, what? Oh my God, you're All Might. It's like, oh, thank you. I must admit, you were able to keep him at bay. Normally would there be an issue with civilians with quirks using their quirks without a license, but given that it was self-defense, and given what this villain might have been able to do, we'll let it slide. Here you go. Wait, I got so many things to ask you. Oh my God, he said my look. So All Might's like, all right, I'll get this time away. Farewell. Huh? Wait, no, All Might, come back. There's so many things I have to ask you. This time, Midoriya doesn't want. Okay, let's just get down on the window. I'm sorry, but I just need to talk to you. And then I was just, no, not now. And so, is it possible that... Where's All Might? I can assure you I am All Might. And so he explains what happened. And Midoriya asks him the question of, can someone be a hero even with a weak quirk? Because right now, he doesn't have a quirk. He's got the force. And right now, he is far stronger than actually quite a few heroes, but at least in his age range. But it's not like he's insanely powerful right now. So, it's like, Now, All Might's advice probably is at least a little bit more encouraging. It's like, if you do, there are some villains you can't beat without a quirk. And it all depends on the type of quirk, too. Some quirks are stronger than others, so you need to know what your limitations are. I'm not saying you can't be a hero. I'm just saying you need to be realistic about what you can and can't do. And so he goes, and Midoriya's a little less bummed with this answer than he was in the original. He's like, but what are my limitations? I mean, know my limitations. I guess that's true. And I mean, Sensei can probably help me out more of my training. And then all of a sudden they hear, the sludge villain Scott Bakugo. Bakugo is like, that's Bakugo. A real hero will come. A real hero will come. No, honestly, I'm not a real hero. I'm not. And then he sees Bakugo's face, and Midoriya just, he's augmenting himself with the Force. And why are my feet moving? Why are my feet moving? No, I can't let him hurt Bakugo. It's like, you again. And Midoriya literally just takes his backpack off, but then it reveals that he's got the Force, and just, my eye! Bakugo! Hold on! I gotta rescue him. And he just kind of like, and he's able to pull Bakugo out. It's like, Deku, how did you? Are you okay, Bakugo? I couldn't let you stay there. Oh, you little! He's gonna kill the boy. And again, Midoriya just holds out, uses his Force. He knows a Force push isn't going to be able to do anything against this guy. He just doesn't have that. Because the Force push isn't like the shockwave All Might throws with like a gust of wind that's just so encompassing. It's more concentrated, and it's just not big enough to blow the whole mass away. He pretty much was doing pot shots at him, and then they just seal up. He more just puts up a Force barrier. I'm not gonna let you get through. That's my promise. And he's actually able to push him back. It's like, what the hell? He's stronger than last time. But unfortunately, that much power all at once is like so drained. It's like, Deku, you idiot. How are you? What are you? I couldn't let you get hurt, Bakugo, huh? I'm gonna kill you, kids! And then finally, boom. They just like, they hold like, cover their eyes. It's like, I really am pathetic, aren't I? I told you the ideals that make a great hero. But I told you what it makes a great hero. But now I see I wasn't living up to my own ideals. A true hero always is willing to put his life on the line. And just blasts him away. Which, by the way, is still a beast in, like, just moment of All Might right there. Just being like, fuck it. I'm pushing myself beyond limit. I will save these kids no matter if it costs me my life. If this guy brings me down, so be it. And so, everyone's okay. Everyone thanks All Might. Midoriya gets scolded again, almost certainly, which is one of the, as a lot of people pointed out, you fuckers are heroes, and you weren't even going to do anything. Oh, we needed someone with a better quirk. The kid's just going to have to hold on. When this little quirkless kid goes up and at least tries to do something. Like, yeah, Death Earth tried to punch him and failed, but that was it. And, like, even Midoriya, who doesn't even have a quirk, was still trying. And you had the balls to scold him. Which, to be fair, that is not pointed out, but like the hypocrisy of heroes is kind of pointed out later on in the series, obviously. So yeah, but obviously Deku, starts walking away, but then obviously Bakugo catches up with him. You idiots! Two things. I guess you weren't lying about having a quirk after all, were you? I told you I had to shut up. I'm here to just tell you that's never gonna happen again. And so. And surprisingly, Midoriya recognizes, like, that's probably the closest to a thank you I'm going to get from him. And so he actually ends up meeting Ben, who saw everything. I saw everything on the news. Are you all right, Midoriya? It's like, yes. And it's, oh, yeah, I'm fine. It's like, oh, it looks like your training's been coming along nicely. For you to be able to do something to a monster like that, especially with something with no real physical mass, your abilities are coming along quite nicely. And I also saw All Might there. Yeah, I actually had a chance to talk to him. Really? And what did he say? It's like, I am here! I never get used to that. All Might! And it's like, yes. Oh, I just want to, you moved, you're like, so inspired me to move too. All Might, it's good to see you, my old friend. Kenobi, Ben, I must admit, it has been some time, hasn't it? So wait, you know each other? Back in the day when I was still registered as a hero, me and All Might have a couple of run-ins with each other. We had a few good times, didn't we, old friend? Indeed, we did. So, young Midoriya is. Believe that young Midoriya is your mentor, or your mentor? Yeah, young Midoriya is his mentor. You're young Midoriya's mentor then. That's it. So, All Might probably is one of the only other people on the planet who know about the Force because he's been with shipping. But no, he has worked with Ben before, and Ben explained that yeah, it's registered as a quirk, but it's not a quirk. So that's it. That's why you were asking me about if someone with a weak quirk. You don't actually have a quirk, do you, Midoriya? You use the Force, like Obi-Wan here, or Kenobi does here. So, yes, sir. I'm growing stronger all the time, but I needed to be sure. No, it's well, I want to apologize as well. When all the other heroes out there didn't act, you acted. You had the makings of a true hero. Now, I do think All Might is going to consider All for One with him. Because he was looking for a right candidate. And keep in mind, it's not about whether or not you have a quirk. Because, again, God knows how many users before him had a quirk. It's about the character of the person, not the quirk. And I was like, All Might, yo. And just as All Might knows about the Force, Ben here may very well know about One for All as well. He might have been one of the few trusted friends of his that know about it. All Might, why are you really still here? And then he kind of looks at All Might and just looks like, I see. So you're considering young Midoriya then? I was like, wait, considering me? And he explains how One for All works. Like, wait, you want to give me your quirk? I'm considering. I am just as he's taking you as his pupil. I too am considering needing a successor. I'm wondering if you might be it, kid. I mean, I could be, but I don't want to impose. I was on my way to looking. Honestly, that's one of the reasons I'll be teaching a UA this year. To look for a proper disciple. You don't have to make the decision now, and nor do I. As a matter of fact, I still want to see more of what you're capable of, boy. Just do me a favor. Don't lose that good heart of yours ever. And now I'll be off. Ben, I'll see you around. As you, Yoshinori. Yoshinori? Oh, yes, I suppose I shouldn't have mentioned that. But Midoriya, this is before the graduation exam's taking place a little later, not later that day, but later down the road. Well, it's actually going to stop here because before the graduation exam happens, or not graduation, the entrance exam. The entrance exam happens, he does want to, Midoriya, there's something I want to give you. Back in the day, as I said, back in the day, there were many Force users, and we had to use our abilities in many different ways. He takes out this little box, and a long time ago, there were methods for us to weaponize our Force abilities, for the betterment of mankind. Unfortunately, many of those methods have been lost, save for maybe one. And then he pulls out, and you see this, at the moment, just white crystal on a necklace. Weirdly enough, think how Naruto's necklace, the first Hokage's necklace, looks, but think of that more just white and more kind of like just it's not shapeless, it's just kind of a bit more jagged and less elongated. Probably so. Maybe not like the first Hokage's that I think about it, but just a kyber. It's a kyber crystal, obviously. It's like, what is it? This is what's called the kyber crystal, Naruto. They're very rare these days. Most of the time, most of them now belong in the hands of collectors. But when utilized properly, you can channel your ability into the Force with this, assuming you can attune with the crystal to begin with, Midoriya. Really? What do you mean? And that's what Obi-Wan's response. You see, there was, and we'll say that the Jedi kind of existed in this world. You see, when there was more of us, we formed a unique organization of heroes. We called ourselves the Jedi. And he explains what the Jedi is like. We were the peace and we were among the first heroes, as a matter of fact. But unfortunately, as time went on, the quirks grew stronger and the Force grew more and more rare. We eventually died out, either in battle or just old age. So what's this? If you're able to attune your crystal at some point, and you're able to eventually get into UA, the supports there may be enough materials there for you to form your own unique weapon. It's a weapon? Indeed. This is called a lightsaber. It's the weapon of a Jedi. Not as random or clumsy as a blaster or a gun or many other quirks. An elegant weapon for a more civilized age. It's like, whoa. And so we're going to leave it off there before the graduation. Now, the incorporation of the Kyber crystal in lightsabers. Remember, we're not really making Midoriya a Jedi here. That is a very different, like, if he's a Jedi, this is a complete Star Wars fanfic that I would literally take Deku off-world, throw him into the Star Wars universe. He's a Jedi then. That's not what we're doing here. But when we talk about the Force, and Kyber crystals are Force-sensitive crystals, that's how you make a lightsaber. I'm like wondering, and he's going to be training with a former Jedi. Like, do I want to include a lightsaber? I kind of want to include a lightsaber. So we're including a lightsaber. Now, what color is Midoriya's lightsaber going to be? You think that might not be an important question. Oh, no. That is actually a very important question because the color of a lightsaber is determined by what your stance and your, not outlook, but your philosophy in the Force is. For example, green are individuals who study more like the Force itself and the living Force and are more Force or adept at using the Force itself, whereas blue crystals are more for like Jedi Guardians, individuals who are more protectors, almost soldiers, if you will. Yellow lightsabers are those who are either hunt the dark side, like straight up hunt dark side users, or individuals who have almost fallen to the dark but come back. Orange apparently leans a bit more towards the dark as well. Then there's other colors as well. So what? And then like right in the middle, if you teeter the line between dark and light. So what Midoriya's lightsaber color may be, we're not going to see that until we get at least until the third episode, I think, because Midoriya first has to attune with this Kyber crystal. Honestly, it's kind of like using a Zanpakuto a little bit. You have to pour a little bit of yourself into the crystal, your energy, your soul, all that, and then you would eventually get you tune with it. And then you actually have to use the Force to create your lightsaber too. So anyway, that's for now. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. This is actually, I think, going to be one of the longer videos we do, because finally we have a Deku whose ability really isn't all that broken. In fact, and there's enough nuance behind it where we can actually explore more avenues. Also, I've introduced some new characters, ideas, so forth and so on. I'm not saying it's going to be like a 10, 12-part episode, but more like a 7 or 8-parter versus the 4 to 6. That's very possible. But we'll have to wait and see where I ultimately land on it. Until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.